Another challenge for continuing on to publishing is something called writer's block. Now, I'm sure everybody gets that in some way. Oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm stuck at this point. I'm stuck on some plot issue. If it's a fiction story, if it's something else, you just don't know how to end it. Sometimes you don't know how to take that idea and make it into a story. Or you have the angst that you're not going to get it out, and you lose confidence, and you don't know what to do. The best way is to just let it be. There's a couple of things you can do. Number one, if you have several projects on the go, then you don't feel so bad leaving that one project that's bugging you, and move on to something different, quite different maybe. So let's say you're working on a novel, move on to something else and do some editing or whatever, something that's using a different part of your brain, and then you can let it be, and you can feel good about it. There are other ways of just sort of, essentially what you're doing is you're stepping aside from the project. You're too involved in it. You're so close to it that you can't. You're stuck. It's like you dug yourself into a hole. Some of the tricks, and I have that in page 60. It's called Wake Up the Sleeping Muse. Anything from music to taking walks, cycling. I love to cycle. Music is an interesting one because music can be like a tag, and people love music, and it gets at you in some part of the brain, right? It's very evocative. I end up using music almost like a soundtrack. I actually have certain music that I play so much during the writing of a particular project that I actually associate it with it. And what's neat is, having done that, whenever I listen to that music, I think of what I'm writing. But it's in a different way. It's not that focused. It's, again, I think a different part of the brain that's going there. And funnily enough, it allows me to travel back to that place and work through whatever problem is stopping me from writing. So that works really well. I just put it on in the car when I'm driving, and boom, next thing you know, I'm thinking of a character. Walks are great because, again, you're freeing your thought pattern. And if you walk with somebody, a special friend, and discuss things, sometimes that helps too. And it doesn't mean you have to discuss what's stopping you. You discuss something else. Ironically, when we're in that place, often things occur around us that help us in an indirect way. Like you can go see a movie that has something to do with whatever you're writing, and you didn't even know that before, but it'll twig. It's just how our brain works. So I mentioned movies, visiting an art gallery, or anything that is going to amuse you, entertain you, divert you in a way that allows that muse to come back on its own. Often we're just trying too hard, and so you just need to relax and go away. And this is where I bring back the idea of the several projects. Sometimes part of that angst is being productive and finishing this thing, and you're just putting too much pressure on yourself. If you're working on other things too at the same time, there's less pressure on that one particular project. So make sure that you're productive in a number of different ways, and that helps too. Along those notes, though, letting the muse return on its own terms. On page 59 is a little bit that I'd like to read to you. Each of you has felt it, that otherworldly, euphoric wave of knowing, of resonating with something that is more than the visible world. When the hairs on the back of your neck tingle and you write that significant scene, or trembling with giddy energy as you create that perfect line on a painting, or glowing with a deep, abiding warmth when you defend a principle, or the surging frisson you share with fellow musicians on that exquisite set piece, or the cresting orgasm of your cherished lover. These are all what I call God moments, and they don't happen by chasing after them. They sneak up on us when we're not looking. They come to us when we focus outward and embrace our wonder for the world, when we quiet our minds and nurture our souls with beauty. So this is what I'm getting at. If you're trying too hard, then you need to let go. Just let go and let the world come back to you. That works really well.
Are you a writer looking to get published? Then visit thepassionatewriter.com and purchase The Fiction Writer. Get published right now. It's a guide that provides the basic tools that every beginning writer needs to get published. It's packed with real examples and practical exercises. This is your shortcut to getting published. Author Nina Montiano is lively and humorous and makes learning fun. Give your book the chance it deserves to get published. Visit thepassionatewriter.com now to learn more.